Hey, as we get older, I have something that I say to people occasionally, and I'm not the man I used to be. And one of the reasons for that, one of the reasons I can say that is that, there's little things that we should not ignore. If you're a guy and you're anything like me, going to the doctor is not high on your priority list. It was never high on mine. But there are some things that we should never ignore. And I want to go through a few of them. I've got a couple notes here because, some of these things I have not experienced and some of them I have. And I want to run some of these by you. And if you have anything to add to this, drop it in the comments. Maybe you can help somebody else that might be going through some things. But one of the first things that we shouldn't ignore is we shouldn't ignore memory loss. Now, when I say memory loss, I'm not talking about where did I leave my keys. I walked into this room and I know I wanted something, but I can't remember what it is. I mean, that kind of stuff happens. That happens. It probably happens a little bit more than it used to for me. But you shouldn't ignore memory loss if you're in a situation maybe where you're driving someplace and you're like, I really can't remember how to get there. And you've been there many times, don't ignore that. Talk to your doctor. Or if there's someone that you've known your whole life and you see them on a fairly regular basis, but you can't remember their name, that's something else. Names are names. Names are hard to remember. I mean, there's many people I can't remember their name. I don't remember your face. But I'm talking about someone that you should remember. You should remember. So don't ignore that type of memory loss. And another thing, okay, next on my list is balance issues. So balance issues are a big part of getting older. There are exercises that you can do that will tell you that where you stand, and they're all over YouTube. You can find them. Stand on one leg, and can you stand on one leg and balance yourself without holding on to something else? That kind of thing. The reason balance issues are so important is because if you fall and you break a hip, your mortality rate goes way, way up, okay? So in most cases, balance issues can be dealt with if you exercise. So get out there and do some exercise, walk. It's about muscle mass. If you can build some muscle mass. Just don't let yourself get to the point where you have no muscle mass, because it's your muscles, along with your brain, that have everything to do with your balance. If you've got strong muscles in your legs and your back, you have a better chance of not taking a bad fall. So balance is very, very important. There's another exercise that I have seen that tells, kind of where you stand. And that is you sit in a chair and you stand up, and you sit in the chair and you stand up, but you don't use your hands. In other words, it's just sit to stand. And you're supposed to be able to do that so many times to kind of, make sure that you're in good shape. Obviously, this is your legs and your back. So again, it kind of comes back to, do some exercise, try to build some muscle mass, and that will help with your balance. And do balance exercises, standing on one leg, stand on the other leg. It's very strange to me. I can get around just fine, but my one leg, I have a little more trouble, just standing on one leg. Kind of weird, I don't know. So that's number 2. Number 1 was memory loss, and then balance issues. Number 3, medication interactions. A lot of us are on different medications for different things. Blood pressure, maybe you have some stomach issues, whatever. But you want to make sure, and you want to check with your pharmacist, you want to check with your doctor. Your doctor knows this, your pharmacist definitely knows this, if you can take this med with that med. And you don't want to get confused with that, okay? You don't want any medication interactions. Now these are obviously kind of older people issues, but we're retired, and this is about retirement. You want to have the best retirement life that you can have, and you don't want something kind of, that you ignored to mess with that. So number 3 was medication interactions. You don't want to get that. Now, number 4 is something that I have actually suffered with myself, and that is hearing loss. I spent most of my life doing physical work, and a lot of times with power tools that were loud. And back in the 1970s, I went to crazy loud concerts, and it really snuck up on me, this hearing loss. I mean, I was fine. I could listen to music, and everything was fine until all of a sudden it wasn't. And I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. But I found myself actually irritating my wife by saying, "What? What'd you say?" And it got to the point where she got pretty upset about it, because she was like, "You need to do something about that." And I did. I went to an audiologist, and they told me what I already know. You can't hear. Yeah, I knew that, right? Okay. But they did some other things too. I got some hearing aids, and they help a lot. They're not 100%. I don't listen to the same music. I don't listen to much music at all, because it just doesn't sound the same. But here's the important thing about hearing loss. Hearing loss, if you have hearing loss, it's a major factor in developing dementia. Now, I don't know if you knew that. Maybe you knew that. So you don't want to ignore hearing loss. And not only that, you'll find yourself isolating. You'll find yourself, if you have hearing loss, you'll find yourself not wanting to go to a restaurant with 3 or 4 people. It's just too hard to hear. But the big deal is, I guess, 2 things with that. Number 1, it contributes to dementia. And number 2, turns you into, an isolationist. And you don't want that, because in our older years, we need as much social activity as we can muster. So you don't want that. So I've got memory loss, balance issues, medication interactions, hearing loss. And the last one I want to share with you is something that I haven't had a problem with, but my father-in-law did, and that was dehydration. He would go out and he would just forget to drink any water. And dehydration is no fun, because it causes confusion. There's all kinds of things that can go on in your brain and your body if you become dehydrated. You don't want to do that. So you want to, make sure you've got a water bottle with you, or access to that kind of stuff. And keep in the back of your mind, maybe I need to drink something. A lot of people don't have that problem. I don't. I drink water all the time. And that hasn't been a problem for me yet, and I hopefully it never will be. So, when we get older, there are things that we have to pay attention to that we didn't have to pay attention to when we were younger. When I was young, you could do anything. You fall down, you get up. Now you fall down, you could hurt something. So pay attention to these things: memory loss, balance issues, medication interactions, hearing loss, and dehydration. Now, if you've hung with me this long, I really do appreciate it. And I hope you found this interesting. And if you have something to add to this, please do that. Go to the comments below and tell me what you've got to keep an eye on. Tell me what you think other people might find that they need to keep an eye on, because we have to share these things as retired people, so that Other people know. Other people know. So I want to thank you again for your time. I really do appreciate it. Give me a like, give me a subscription. Until the next time, I will talk to you. Thank you.